All right, so today we're diving into Keskara, this supplement that's been making waves online. Tons of testimonials, all these bold claims about boosting energy, vitality, even reversing aging, you name it. We wanted to sift through the hype
Mm.
and get to the bottom of what Keskara really is
Yeah.
and if it lives up to the hype.
Yeah, we dug into everything we could find. YouTube reviews, articles, even a report from Sterling Medical Center. It seems like everybody's talking about Keskara.
So, where do we even begin with this? What is this stuff? A lot of the YouTubers are calling it a male health support supplement.
And then you have Sterling Medical Center calling it a premium dietary supplement. They seem to be focusing more on overall well-being and skin health.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see that range from
Yeah.
very specific marketing to a more general approach.
Yeah.
And the claims themselves are kind of all over the place, too.
Yeah, for sure.
Some YouTubers talking about, increased libido, stamina.
Yeah.
I even saw one claiming it could reverse aging.
Wow.
And then others are focusing on, better sleep and a stronger immune system.
It's important to remember that personal stories, while they can be compelling, they aren't really the same as scientific evidence, you know?
Right.
We need to actually look at what's in Keskara and see what the research says about those ingredients.
Okay, good point. So what is in this stuff? What are we actually talking about here?
So, Sterling Medical Center's report lists hyaluronic acid, collagen peptides, vitamin C and E, aloe vera extract, green tea extract, and jojoba oil.
Hmm.
It's a pretty diverse mix, a lot of ingredients you usually find in skincare.
Okay, yeah. And I noticed that some of the YouTubers mentioned a few ingredients that weren't on Sterling Medical Center's list, like horny goatweed,
Oh, yeah.
saw palmetto, and tribulus terrestris. Those seem to be more the ingredients associated with male vitality, I guess.
It's a fascinating combo, for sure. It seems like they're trying to tackle multiple aspects of male health with this one supplement.
Right. And Sterling Medical Center actually outlines these stages of how Keskara is supposed to work, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that.
So stage 1 is all about improved well-being. So more energy, better sleep, that sort of thing. And then stage 2 focuses on more, physical changes like firmer muscles, stronger erections, increased stamina.
Okay, so they're suggesting a kind of gradual progression of benefits over time.
Exactly. And then stage 3, which they say kicks in after at least 3 months, they claim it actually eliminates inflammation in the reproductive system.
Yeah.
And that leads to a more satisfying sex life.
That's a pretty bold claim. We'll have to see if there's any research to back that up.
Yeah. And speaking of needing more time, every single source that we looked at emphasized that this is not a magic bullet.
Right.
You really have to take it consistently for at least 3 to 6 months to see the optimal results.
That's actually a good sign, in my opinion. It suggests they're not just trying to push a quick fix, but something that's meant to work with your body over time.
Yeah, a lot of the YouTubers echoed that too.
Yeah.
Preaching patients saying, don't believe the hype of instant results.
Right, which aligns with what we know about supplements in general. They need time to work their way into your system.
Okay, so before we get too deep into the specific ingredients themselves, I do want to mention something else that every single source really stressed. You should only buy Keskara from the official website.
Oh, that's super important. There are tons of counterfeit supplements out there, and you don't want to end up with something that could be dangerous.
Right. Sterling Medical Center even specifically warned against buying from places like Amazon, eBay, Walmart. They said straight up, they do not sell through those channels, so anything you find there is likely a fake.
That makes sense. They're protecting their brand and their customers.
Right. And another thing I wanted to mention is that a lot of the sources, Sterling Medical Center included, highlighted this 60-day money-back guarantee. It seems like they're pretty confident in their product.
Yeah, a money-back guarantee is definitely a plus for consumers. Shows that the company stands behind their product.
All right, so I think we've got a pretty good overview now of what Keskara is, the claims being made, some of the red flags. Maybe we can break down the science behind some of these ingredients now.
Sounds good to me. Let's see if we can separate the hype from reality here.
Let's do it.
So, we saw some YouTubers talking about Keskara like it's this all-natural thing. Some even said purely plant-based. But Sterling Medical Center gave us, the full ingredient list, remember? Hyaluronic acid, collagen peptides, vitamin C and E, aloe vera extract, green tea extract, and jojoba oil.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Yeah, they're mixing ingredients you'd normally find in skincare products with these ingredients targeted more at male vitality, I guess.
It's a pretty unique mix, and it kind of makes sense when you look at some of the claims, several YouTubers were raving about how great Keskara is for their skin. One guy even said it could, reverse aging and reshape his jawline in just 3 weeks.
Okay, that's where I get a little skeptical. Even with the best skincare routine, reversing aging that quickly just, I don't know, it seems a bit far-fetched.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely pushing the limits of believability. While some ingredients, like hyaluronic acid and collagen peptides, can definitely contribute to a more youthful appearance, they're not going to turn back the clock in 3 weeks.
Right.
Let's be real.
So what can those ingredients actually do? Let's start with hyaluronic acid.
Okay, so hyaluronic acid is actually found naturally in our bodies.
Uh-huh.
It's what's called a humectant, meaning it attracts and holds on to water, which helps keep your skin hydrated and plump.
That's why it's so popular in skincare.
Exactly. It's
Huh.
like giving your skin a big drink of water, which can temporarily smooth out those fine lines.
So it's not erasing wrinkles, it's just kind of lumping them up to make them less noticeable.
Right. It's about improving skin texture and hydration,
Right.
not some miracle cure for aging.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
What about those collagen peptides? They were mentioned a lot too.
So collagen is a protein that gives our skin its structure and elasticity. But as we age, our bodies produce less and less of it,
Yeah.
which leads to wrinkles and sagging. Collagen peptides are basically smaller pieces of collagen that are easier for your body to absorb.
Oh, I see. So the idea is that you're supplementing with these smaller pieces to kind of boost your collagen levels.
Exactly. It's like giving your body the building blocks it needs to maintain that skin elasticity. And there's actually some research to suggest that it can be effective.
Interesting. Okay, so let's talk about some of those other ingredients, like horny goatweed. You can't really miss a name like that, right?
Yeah, it definitely grabs your attention. Horny goatweed has been used in traditional Chinese medicine for centuries, often as an aphrodisiac.
So that's all about boosting libido.
That's the traditional use, yeah. There's some early research that hints at potential effects on hormone levels, but we really need more studies to understand how it works. And also its safety.
It seems like more research is needed is a pretty common theme with this Keskara stuff.
It is, and it's an important thing to remember. Just because something has traditional uses or shows promise in early research doesn't automatically make it a proven solution.
Right. And speaking of ingredients that need more research, what about niacin? Isn't that just vitamin B3?
Yeah, it is vitamin B3, but it's more than just a vitamin. It plays a crucial role in energy production, cell signaling, even DNA repair in the context of Keskara. It's probably included for its potential benefits for blood flow.
Ah, okay, so that ties back to those claims about improving sexual performance.
Exactly. Niacin can help dilate blood vessels, which improves blood flow throughout the body. There's research to support its use for specific circulatory conditions. But again, more research is needed to understand its effects specifically within Keskara.
Got it. So we've got this blend of ingredients, some with more scientific backing than others. What's the most important thing for people to keep in mind as they're evaluating these claims?
I think it's really important to remember that supplements aren't regulated as strictly as pharmaceuticals. So while some of these ingredients have been studied individually, we don't really know how they all interact with each other in this specific formula.
Right. Just because the individual ingredients might show some promise
Mm.
doesn't mean they'll actually work together effectively in the final product.
Exactly. And that's why it's so crucial to talk to your doctor before starting any new supplement, especially if you have any pre-existing conditions or are taking other medications.
Makes sense.
They can help you assess the risks and benefits and make sure it's safe for you.
Right. And it's also important to remember that Sterling Medical Center, while they seem to be a credible source, they're still selling this product. The report did mention that Keskara is generally well tolerated, but also that some users might experience mild side effects, like stomach discomfort or allergic reactions.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We always have to view even seemingly unbiased sources with a critical eye.
Okay, so what about those stages that Sterling Medical Center laid out? That whole idea of a gradual buildup of benefits.
It's an interesting approach. They claim that after at least 3 months, you reach stage 3, where Keskara supposedly gets rid of all inflammation in the reproductive system, which then leads to a more satisfying sex life.
Again, a pretty bold claim.
Yeah.
But it does emphasize that whole patience thing, right? They're not promising overnight results.
Right, which, to be fair, is more in line with how our bodies actually work.
Exactly. Real change takes time and consistency. Okay, so we've talked about the ingredients, the potential benefits, the need for patience. Before we move on, what's your overall impression of Keskara so far?
Honestly, it's kind of a mixed bag. It's got this unique combination of ingredients, some with more scientific backing than others. And while the company does seem to be transparent about the need for consistent use and the potential for mild side effects, some of the claims are definitely a little over the top.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's
Yeah.
definitely a supplement that requires some careful consideration and further research.
Right.
Okay, so we've talked about the ingredients in Keskara, the science, or lack thereof in some cases, and some of those marketing claims. But I think it's interesting to take a step back and think about what does the popularity of a supplement like Keskara tell us about? I don't know, the current state of men's health, maybe?
That's a really good point. I think it highlights this. Growing interest in natural approaches to health and wellness,
Mhm.
especially as people are maybe becoming a little more wary of traditional pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, it seems like people are looking for alternatives,
Yeah,
especially when it comes to, I don't know, maybe more sensitive topics.
exactly. And for men in particular, there can be a lot of stigma around seeking help for certain issues,
Mhm.
especially those relating to sexual health.
Right.
And I think Keskara's marketing, with its focus on like natural enhancement and a more holistic approach,
Mhm.
it might resonate with men who might not be comfortable talking to their doctor or trying prescription medications.
Yeah, it's kind of normalizing those conversations in a way,
Yeah,
making it easier to address those concerns without feeling embarrassed.
exactly.
So before we wrap up, I wanted to touch on something we haven't really talked about yet, the ethics of marketing a supplement like this. We've talked about being informed consumers, but what about the responsibility of the companies selling these products?
Yeah, that's crucial. It's one thing to offer a product with potential benefits, but it's another to market it responsibly and ethically.
Right. I mean, we've seen some pretty bold claims about Keskara, some of which we've talked about might be a little over the top.
Yeah, and that's where it gets tricky. Where's the line between promoting your product and making promises you can't actually keep?
Especially when you're dealing with people's health and well-being. I mean, that's a sensitive area,
It is.
and companies need to be really mindful of that.
Absolutely. I think transparency is key. Being upfront about what the product can and cannot do, avoiding those scare tactics and fear mongering,
Yeah.
and backing up their claims with actual evidence.
Right. It's about empowering people to make informed decisions, not exploiting their insecurities.
Exactly.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive into Keskara, what are the key takeaways our listeners should keep in mind?
I think first and foremost, be an informed consumer. Don't just believe everything you see online. Do your own research, talk to your doctor, and make the decision that's right for you.
That's great advice.
And also, be realistic about your expectations. Supplements, even those with really promising ingredients, aren't magic bullets. They work best as part of a holistic approach to health
Right.
that includes diet, exercise, stress management, all of that.
And of course, don't be afraid to talk to your doctor about any concerns you might have, even if they feel a little embarrassing.
Exactly. They can give you personalized advice and support.
Well said. So that brings us to the end of our deep dive on Keskara. We hope this has given you a better understanding of this supplement, the potential benefits, the drawbacks, and most importantly, the need to think critically when it comes to these kinds of products.
Yeah, remember, the conversation about men's health shouldn't end here. Let's
Yeah.
keep talking, keep supporting each other, and working towards a future where men feel empowered to prioritize their health.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us.